This is something that I've never done before. I've never taken upon myself to vlog on a Saturday. Normally I do this on a Sunday, but I have two reasons why I'm doing it today. One is that I have a very busy day tomorrow, so I decided I might as well start the vlog for this week a day early. But that is not the main reason why. The main reason is because even though our free company prides itself on the love that we share with others, we're in the middle of dealing with our first real scandal. So with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthew back with you here at Overall Autism for another edition of the Tales of Eorzea vlog here on Final Fantasy XIV's Exodus server. And no, I was not wrong when I said scandal. Our free company last night had a very serious confrontation that happened between one of our leads, one of our prominent party members, and two people who left last night. And these were actually two people who are regular viewers and subscribers of my channel, but I don't think they are anymore after what happened last night. We had a situation occur that happened while I was at work, where Lady Cynthia, who is of course one of our most well-known party members, who's active from time to time in our live streams, and also comes to help me out in any roulettes that I may be doing that do get featured on live stream. She was in a confrontation, a verbal confrontation, with two of our members who, like I said, are regular viewers of my channel, but I don't think they are anymore after last night. The main reason why this came about was because Cynthia wanted to get to know these people, and she wanted to get to understand them better, but they didn't want to, because Cynthia had just opened herself up to them a lot about who she is. And anyone who is familiar with Cynthia, in fact, I don't know if I have ever actually mentioned this in a stream or in any vlog, but Cynthia is an LGBT, and because of that, obviously people in her situation want to try and do what they can to feel vindication for who they are and their way of life. And so, from what I saw, I'm going to ignore that because I know exactly what that is. But based on what I gleaned, it looked like Cynthia was trying to get some vindication from these two members about acknowledging the fact that she is an LGBT. But based on the chat log that they showed me from last night, it seemed that they were indifferent in that regard and didn't want to talk about it. And so because of it, that seemed to rub Cynthia the wrong way, and it ultimately escalated into Cynthia having them demoted. Even though they were just basic members with just basic membership rights, they were demoted to having no privileges at all within our free company. So when I got home from work last night, I spent the next hour talking to Cynthia and talking to our two former members to try and get an understanding what was going on. Now, Cynthia had some pretty prominent backers. Some of our other free company members were paying attention to the chat, and they were sympathizing with her, as was her sister. But I wanted to make sure that that what was being said was being validated. So I looked at the chat's log that the former members showed me, and while I will concede to the fact that Cynthia could have conducted herself a little better in terms of looking for vindication from them that she's an LGBT, it would have been better for the two of them to just accept that and just move on. But I really can't speak for them and who they are and what they're like. So I really felt that all three of them really did not conduct themselves in a manner that was worthy of what our free company's expectations are. And when I confronted the two former members about it last night, they felt that because of the fact that it was Cynthia who was not conducting herself the way that she should have, and that she is one of my seconds in command, there was the expectation from them that I would reprimand her. But the thing is, it's difficult for me to be able to want to do that knowing that this is a person who is emotionally sensitive and who just this past week was not only broadsided by a distracted driver and ended up in a car accident, but a couple days before that her father died. So because of that, obviously she's not in the best mindset right now. She's going through a lot of negative stuff. And so obviously I can understand her frustration that in this time of need she would expect to have some sort of vindication from other people. But here's the thing though, this is not an isolated incident for Cynthia. She has had issues with other members of our free company in the past who are no longer with us, and as a result it's been a frustration for them as well, because you might remember Tiger Ryuji, one of my former seconds in command, was trying to get into a relationship with Cynthia, and it seemed like they couldn't really do anything that was positive at all in the relationship whatsoever. And so looking at that and then thinking back to last night, I mean, obviously if these people are people who are not don't care for that much for LGBT people or are indifferent about this situation because it's something that they really don't want to deal with, then I can't blame them for that. And then on the other hand, on another way of looking at it, because this is going around with Cynthia, because these situations, these problems both involved her, it's like, how do you deal with that? Because, like I said, she's an emotionally sensitive person, and one of the things that she's well known for in our free company is wanting to encourage and support the morale and camaraderie of our free company, because that's what gravitated her towards us in the first place when she first joined our free company. And so I don't know, it feels like that if she feels like she can't get it on any situation or on any particular subject, especially when it comes to her being an LGBT, it could be something that could rub her the wrong way, set her off, and result in something like that happened, like what happened last night. It is very difficult to try and think about what is best for trying to help out Cynthia, because really, in a way I consider her a pet project within our free company, because as I mentioned before, she is someone who is who's never been someone who has been in the best of circumstances with her life. And because of that, it really is a situation like, how do you help this person, but also at the same time do it in a way where they feel like you're either taking sides against them, or you're just being mad at them, period, for their conduct, or something like that. Like, how do you help a person like Cynthia, who lives the way that she lives, who is the person that she is, but when it comes to trying to get vindication for who she is and doesn't get it, it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you be able to help someone who, in this day and age where it is the expectation that you will be accepted for who you are, no matter what you are, and if you don't get that vindication, then how do you help that person emotionally? it is something that I've really had to think long and hard about since I did my little investigation last night into this situation. And I really am not sure how to go about it, because I really do want to try and help Cynthia out as best I can, to help her to alleviate the frustrations that she's had to go through with her life being the person that she is. But I want her to be also able to do so. I also want to be able to help her grow in a way that will, of course, continue to be showing our free company a positive way, because the people who left, they've already let me know that they feel like, because I wasn't wanting to take action last night without getting a sufficient amount of understanding of what was going on, they felt like I was defending her, because they know that she's the friend with me that she is. And so, and of course, because we're in a relationship now, so because of that aspect, they feel like because she's in love with me, that I'm defending her if for no other reason than that. And that's not what I want it to be at all. I never want anyone to feel like I'm being biased towards anybody. It's my responsibility as the leader of our free company to be able to show that everyone must be respected, but at the same time, if you do something wrong, no matter who you are, that you're not being given amnesty, and that you should come to understand that if you demonstrate conduct that is unbecoming of our free company, then you should learn how to deal with it. And I'm more than willing to help you. If you're a member of our free company, and I'm more than willing to deal with it and try and help you out, because everyone looks at me as the leader of the free company in a positive way. Everyone here looks up to me, and I want them to continue to look up to me. But when a situation like this happens, like what happened last night, it's also my responsibility to help them to understand how they can be better. Even if they feel like they're on the wrong side of a situation, like, there is no question that it was a heated confrontation, and there was a lot of negative things that were said by both sides. So because of that, it really is up to me to make sure that incidents like this don't happen again. And I doubt that the two former members are watching this, and even if they were, I wouldn't go and say, like, hey, if you come back to our free company, this incident will never happen again. No, I'm not expecting that's going to happen. What I do want to do, though, is apologize to the two of them for what happened last night, and on behalf of Cynthia for the conduct that she demonstrated towards the two of them. Because it's important that they understand that this is a person who I am trying to help out as much as she is trying to help out our free company. So because of that, I really want to do everything I can to help Cynthia grow as a person. And I know this is something that I cannot do alone, and I will obviously need the support of my free company as we go on. But at the same time, I also don't want this to be recurring if we get any new members in the near future, and they and another situation like this occurs, then it could be like irrevocable damage for our free company. And I may have to make a decision that I don't want to have to make. That's the most difficult thing about this, is because of the fact that I'm trying to help out Cynthia to become better as far as her emotions and her happiness is concerned. I don't want to be the one who turns around and says, like, we've grown tired of you acting this way towards free company members. We don't want you here anymore. That would be the absolute last resort, and I hope that I never have to go there with Cynthia or anyone else for that matter. It's just my hope that we can move on from this, and that we will be able to help out Cynthia as far as her emotions and as far as conducting herself better towards free company members. And if people aren't going to pay attention to you or are indifferent because of the fact that you just happen to be LGBT, it's not the end of the world. It's not something that is a be-all to end all. Like, if you can't get a response out of them, then don't bother. Don't let them get inside your head. Just be a bigger person and be able to move on, because we want to be willing to accept all people here in our free company and do so in a positive manner. And if you're not big on LGBT, like, we're not going to hold that against you. If you're pro LGBT, or if you're not really all that much into them, like, we want to make sure that you are accepted here, because the Olympics happen every other year, and there are people from all over the world who compete who are either pro LGBT or very hard line against it. But it doesn't matter. Everyone comes together in camaraderie and sportsmanship, and they support each other. And that's what's always been one of the things that I've always enjoyed the most about the Olympic Games, is that you have all these people. It doesn't matter what they believe in. It doesn't matter what they say or think about the world. They're just there to be able to have the opportunity to compete against their rivals, but also make new friends. It's one of the best things about the Olympics, and it's always a model I felt would be great to be able to bring into our free company. It's something I've never mentioned before on the vlog, but I think it's something that would be a great mindset to take in, that you can't please everyone. You will have people who will not necessarily be big fans of the person that you are. But if you can win them over with kindness and generosity and compassion, and be able to show them support, go on dungeon runs with them, go on trial runs with them, be able to do stuff like that, you'll be able to win them over a lot easier than you would by saying, hey, I'm an LGBT. I think that would be a lot better, and I'm glad that I just thought of that. Yeah, because really, it's what makes us such great people when we're together, is the fact that we are able to come together no matter who we are, and we can do these things together, and we can accomplish so much. It's why we're going to be moving into a new free company house once we've saved up enough money. We have the plot in the goblet, we've got it saved up, it's going to be ours before you know it, and we want to really take off with it. So when I look back at last night and what I think of will happen in the future, I really want this to be a learning experience, not just for Cynthia and for the 2 former free company members, but for all of us. It's going to be, I think this is going to be one of the most important things for us to deal with, because we've never had to deal with anything like this before. So the way we need to handle it now is to try and go forward in a strong and positive manner, but also ensure that it is conveyed in all of our members. So that is going to do it for this edition of the Tales of Eorzea vlog. And usually I would do my usual encouragements of inviting you guys to the FC, but I think in this situation I would say to just continue to offer your moral support for us for the time being, and encourage us as much as you can, because I know you guys are going to continue to watch us through the live streams and these vlogs. So for now, I would encourage you to continue to keep up the moral support, stand by us, and be there for us as we're going through this turbulent time in our free company's history. And we'll look forward to sharing our stories with each and every one of you. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Final Fantasy XIV Tales of Eorzea vlog here on the Exodus server. So until next time, everyone, this is Matthew and Navora Autism saying take care, and I'll see you soon.